Good. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Okay.
And the ankle is,
My ankle is getting better.
oh, good.
Interesting. The one thing I really can't do yet is the form
Ah.
because it involves shifting the weight
Mm-hmm.
and almost everything else I can determine how I'm putting my foot down.
Well, you can watch the form.
But 8 gates and actually God's works pretty well because I'm not
Yeah.
shifting.
There is that advantage.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you're improving.
Yeah.
How did you do it?
I
You
don't know.
you don't know.
No,
Oh God.
I was mowing the lawn when I felt it, and often there are mole runs, and I'm thinking that maybe it was on its way, pulling loose, and I just turned it a little bit.
Mhm.
So it's the tendon that runs over the top.
Oof.
And you could see on the x-ray that was the bone, here's the tendon, and right there is a chip of bone attached to the tendon
Ah,
instead of the bone. So
ah.
it needs to knit back, and it feels like it is.
Oh wow.
So the tinier the better, and the earlier you catch it, the better. So, but I knew
And
right away it wasn't muscular.
and
Yeah.
don't overdo.
I'm sorry,
And don't overdo.
and don't overdo. No,
No, no
so
mowing the lawn. And,
I can. It's I've done it since a couple days ago. I'm heavily taped up, so.
well, that's good. That's good. Morning, Jeff.
Good morning. Hey, Bill.
Hey,
So my report is the kitchen is done, except there's
Yay.
our refrigerator is still in the dining room until tomorrow morning. Uh, but other than that, and it really is incredibly nice.
wow.
Wow.
We
Great.
are we are extremely pleased with what we've done, or they've done, or all of us have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah, yeah. So um, you won't have that particular banging in the background,
Mm.
right? So um, let, let me sound the gong. So, questions? Did you get a chance to look at what we did?
I did not.
Okay.
Um,
Well, we were focusing on lengthening a lot.
Yeah, and we did a partial flow up, I think, through wave hands.
Yep.
I'll try and talk into here. I just realized that my mic isn't great. We did a partial flow with David narrating the lengthening process and in and out and all up through wave hands, I believe is where we stopped. So that's on the last video as well. If you ever want to flow with it, it's helpful.
turn my hearing aids up.
Oh, a, a pause here while
Okay,
Bill makes an adjustment.
sure. Um,
So, based on that, anything come up in your practice this week, Jeff?
no, I mean nothing. It's just trying to continually improve upon letting go of using muscle versus lengthening.
Mm-hmm.
It still very much has to be a conscious thing most of the time. So I'm just trying to make strides in that direction.
Yep. Okay. Anything for you?
No, no. I really I've tested the form, and I can feel it there, as opposed to walking around. So
Yeah.
I haven't done the form, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's all right.
Eight Gates has gone okay. Yeah, as far as I know, but yeah.
Okay. So I don't know whether you heard Jeff, but Bill can't do the form today.
No, I didn't catch any specifics. I heard him talking about something was wrong, but I didn't catch specifics about it.
I have a fractured ankle.
Oh, wow, that's pretty
um,
bad.
but it's an odd sort of fracture. The ligament that runs over the outside of the ankle tore away a tiny piece of the bone from the main ankle.
Wow.
Therefore, it needs to be called a fracture.
Right.
And it's in the process of healing back in there. Um, and
Wow.
I think I actually lucked out by having such a small piece,
Right.
um, and and I got to it the same day it happened. Yeah,
Oh,
I
Right.
got to
good.
the orthopedist.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. Wow. Good. That was fortunate.
yeah,
So one of the things I um, kind of began to introduce last week um, to Jeff was going back to Master Joe's Eight Gates training
hmm
and particularly doing um, Shansi-jin in the bow stance,
okay,
um, which allows you to really work on lengthening in a simpler way. I don't know whether you can do that movement or not, um, because it requires a shift into the weight, so that may not be
yeah,
appropriate for you. But what we were, what I was pointing out was that simply thinking of the Tai Chi 2, Mango has to say hello.
yep,
Mm.
Thinking of the Tai Chi 2 as rotating to change the where the pattern begins and ends allows you to work on several different planes of movement.
okay,
Um, and there are, um, I have never, um, I have never counted them up, but as I suggested to Jeff last week, there may be over 100 variations of that practice. We're not going to try to go there.
okay,
um, but just looking at the what I am saying there, because I did this with Jeff last week, so um, he he had a chance to be aware of it. Um, so actually going into a bow stance, and to begin with, starting with the weight back
hmm
and doing the normal pattern. So you're lengthening out and then lengthening in and out and in, and then thinking that the next time yin has rotated to 9 o'clock, so your starting point is at 9 o'clock. Your beginning point remains the same down at the bottom,
okay,
and you have to make a distinction between beginning and starting. So this time your shift and fullness completes here, and then back to yin and out to yang, and not only back to yin but all the way back to the yin. So you have to keep the movement going. So the length of the movement from beginning to the fullness of Yang changes every time you change where the pattern starts. So the next time it would start at the top. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, concentration.
So you're going out, 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 and in, in, and out, and in. Are you following this?
Yeah,
Sort of.
sort of. It brings back memories of, I did it. We all did.
Yeah.
Some of the changes in that, it was
Yeah.
fairly advanced, and it was always baffling to me. So
Yeah.
it's been triggered. I think. Okay.
So,
I'm glad you're on video doing this. So,
and
you are
of course there
recording,
is a
right?
fourth start. What?
You are recording, right?
Yes, yes, it's
Oh,
recording.
okay.
Yes, I am. I was trying to remember. And there is, of course, a fourth starting point, and you can actually do it with 8 starting points, which is not necessary for you right at the moment. But the advantage of this is it really works with a lot of different planes of movement. It requires that you stay absolutely present, or you don't know where you are.
Yeah, right.
And you can both do all the patterns with the right arm forward, and then shift and do all the left with the left forward. You can also, of course, do all the right with the right forward and the left with the
Yeah.
right forward. So that would be one variation. There are more. It's a brilliant practice that Master Joe developed. But anyway, it is a way to really work on lengthening in various planes of movement without having to, as you do in the form, jump
Yeah.
from one to another so fast and sometimes so quickly and sometimes slowly. I mean, it's just irregular. Here, at least, you can keep it pretty regular.
Yeah.
So it becomes a really good way to practice lengthening.
David, a quick question while we're on this, because I actually did forget I wanted to ask you this. Um, I found it at this point, what I would like to do with this is just do the basic starting point at the bottom, but switch from one hand to the other each time I finish the pattern.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you just do a couple of reps of that for me to make sure that I'm doing it correctly, including shifting of weight?
Sure.
Because that's what I tried to do. I found what you just did with the 4 different starting points. I had to focus way too much on where I was doing, and I wasn't thinking about lengthening nearly enough at this point. So I want to try and start with restart with the basic of just the bottom point. But after I've done it and come around, then I switch hands and go to the other one, and
So
and and
you want to
continue that
switch
going.
hands with the same foot forward?
Either that initially, yes, but also I like when we used to do it with a bit of a walk in there as well.
Well, for the time being, I would recommend that you don't throw the walk in because that
Okay.
adds another complexity to it that you don't
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
yeah, need at the moment. So sure. So the first pattern, of course, is yang at the top and yin at the bottom, and you're forward and back and forward and back and forward and back, and now the pattern begins at 9. So forward, back, releasing out, releasing in, releasing out, releasing in, releasing out. Weight back. Starting at 12. Forward. Turn of the arm has to occur with the body there. Yin rises as you go back. And then forward. And back, and you have to do a full circle back. Lengthen out. No, that's wrong. Sorry. So, lengthen out. Lengthen in, lengthen out, slow, lengthen in. And I won't confuse you with the last one. If you get the first 3, then the last one. Anyway, the questions there?
I have to do it, or try to do it.
Yeah, and it's probably not good with your ankle at the moment.
Well, try it, we'll try it. I probably have the video of the complete 8 gates from years and years ago.
Yes, although we didn't spend very much time on this particular part of the practice.
Okay.
We worked on the basic dynamic sphere, the walk, the single arm, the double arm, and the 8-gate form.
Yeah.
And I don't think we really focused on this at that time.
Okay.
But you could check. I simply don't remember.
What it reminds me of is the double arm.
Oh yeah.
I eventually ended up like this.
Oh, that's good. So, questions there, Jeff?
Yes and no. Yes, questions for probably next time, but I think for this week, I'm going to focus myself when I do have time to do this on just using the 6 o'clock starting point and continuing the flow back and forth with that, and just not having to worry about all the different starting points, but more focus on just the lengthening and
Yeah.
the back and forth. That's what I'm planning on doing this week. So any other questions related to that, I'm going to postpone for now.
Okay. And that's really fine, because if you can get the first basic pattern so that you can lengthen easily and not have to think about it,
Right. That's the goal.
then you can go on to the next one, and
Yeah.
and it will be easier.
Yeah. Yeah. So any questions related to the other positions and starting positions and all of that, I'm not going to think about right now.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, good.
Anything for you, Bill?
No, no. I mean, I'm probably in the same place.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's just,
That's fine. I just think this has a lot of value, because here you are ultimately doing all of the 16 Neigong in this practice. So bending and stretching is constant, twisting is constant, lengthening is constant, opening and closing is constant. You better be breathing constantly or
Yeah.
we'll lose you. Uh,
Right.
so, and right on through. But those are kind of the basic ones. Um, so you're trying to make sure that all of those are happening, not to mention the movement of the energy,
Mm.
which is what you're trying actually to reach a stage where the flow of the energy is at least in the upper body clear and complete, not just one part of the arm or one part of the back or one part of the spine, but all the way through.
Mm.
So, blah, blah, blah.
Actually, um, in terms of moving the starting point,
Mm-hmm.
when I've done it, I don't think about in and out necessarily, but I think I'm going to have to learn a sequence in order to say to myself, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting here, so so we go out, and can you go through just one sequence of it saying out in what?
Yes.
Do you understand my?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I do because, and one thing, if you have um, a picture of the Tai Chi too,
Mm.
um, and if you don't, I could email you
Yeah.
a paper one. But it is sometimes help when you're starting this to when you change the starting point, not the beginning point, but the starting point. You rotate the pattern. You can see where it is.
Okay.
And that really helps. I certainly did that when I was beginning because when you think about that the pattern is rotating all the way around, that changes everything,
Okay.
and that's the issue. But I can certainly do it. Um, Maybe I should put on my glasses here for a moment and. Hmm. Guess I didn't hit that. No, I managed to. There it is. Ah, no, it isn't. Oh, I'm so good at doing this. No, I'm not. Now I can. Now I really screwed it up.
That's a new one.
I don't
How
think
was
you.
that?
I don't think you need.
That's funny.
Okay.
Oh,
How,
there's an X up there.
there is.
Yeah, farther up.
Oh, there it is.
You missed it. Now, okay.
Ah, okay. Um, One of these days I'll. There we go. I'm just doing this so you could perhaps see it, and I'll do it facing the. So, what you don't get if I'm facing the camera, of course, is the shift of the weight.
Yeah, yeah.
But, um, so, yeah, this is funny. So, um, the first pattern is the basic that we've done before. So, rotating and shifting up to the fullness of Yang, down to the fullness of Yin, up to Yang, down to Yin. And then the starting point begins at 9 o'clock. So the fullness of yang is here, and the fullness of yin is over here. And then yang and back. And then lengthening out, and it's all the way to the bottom. And then lengthening in, shifting back, lengthening out, and then a full circle of lengthening in. And then the pattern begins at 3, so yang completes here, and yin completes here, and yang, and now you've got a long, long shifting back to complete the pattern. Nothing to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was helpful for the arm movement very much so, but I know I messed up the shifting considerably once we got past the first position.
Yeah, it's
So I
it's
won't worry too much about that.
yeah, don't worry too much about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so did that answer your
Yes.
begins to?
It begins to, yes. Yeah.
Anything else you want to?
There's another question, but it's probably inappropriate right now.
Oh, go ahead.
um, the hand that is not.
It's,
I know
it's doing the
it's
opposite.
doing the opposite, but
It's very subtle.
yeah. Okay.
It is more felt than apparent.
Okay.
Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
It is more related to. They are both related to our subject tomorrow, which is moving chi directly.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
But eventually, when you no longer have to think about what you're doing with the more active arm,
Yeah.
you can focus on then what's happening with the inactive arm, which is actually doing all the same things but very subtly.
Okay.
It's twisting, it's bending and stretching, it's lengthening, it's opening and closing, and doing it all in opposite to the other sides, which is what is often happening in the form,
Yeah.
but not in a lot of Qigong or Neigong.
Hmm.
So, um, any other questions for you on this, Jeff?
Um, no, I mean, I'm not going to be thinking about the other hand other than trying to keep a connection to the earth when I do this.
Yeah.
But this did raise a quick question. Is that just the balancing of keeping some yin and yang balancing each other off? One hand being yin, the other yang, and therefore it has to also be in in involved at all times.
Um, well, I have an issue with your word "just." Uh, it certainly is balancing
Right.
because um, that's of course one of the things we're trying to do is maintain a constant both physical and energetic balance.
Hmm.
Uh, but it's not It is neither just that nor um, particularly more than that either. That alone is pretty full.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is if the active hand, if we consider that yang, is the other hand that is doing just very small movements, is that yin at, during that time?
No.
Energy? No? Okay.
They're both constantly changing from one to the other.
Okay.
How how
Right,
could
so
the
it's
how could the
tracking
more active arm remain yang when
when it's
you
lengthening in.
yeah,
Yes, okay. No, you're right. That's why I'm asking because I wasn't sure how to think about this whole thing, but now I do understand that
yeah.
what you're saying. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So it's mirroring, it's the opposite mirroring when we are going to yin on the lengthening, and this one is yang. And
Yes.
then okay, so that's what because I never think about or I have not thought about because it's been so many years since I've done this actively, this practice.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about this one being involved other than staying mindful of it being connected to the Earth's energy. That's all
Yeah.
am, am thinking about right now. So
Yeah.
when Bill brought up the subject here, I started thinking about it and was very unclear about its role
Yeah.
and what the energy movement and changing actually was.
Yeah. No, a good question, Jeff. I'm not
Yeah.
in any way saying
Yep.
um, you know me, I like questions.
No, I understand, and I like answers.
When I can.
Yep.
Good. Um, so why don't we just do a simple flow of the eight gates and try to include lengthening in what you're doing.
Hmm. Good.
Okay, is that okay for you?
Yeah.
So, one of the things I would say is that I felt that both of you were very present and really um, certainly beginning to be aware of what you're doing. um,
Oh, it took a few years.
I know, I know. Um, the the thing I would say is that I felt like for both of you that the element that you needed to think about was circularity, because we're trying eventually to make all of our movements actually hemispherical. Now, there may be very small hemispheres and sometimes very large ones, and sometimes both simultaneously. So, what I am saying is that I saw very consistent bend and stretch. I saw sometimes twisting, but I didn't see very much circularity. Um, and so I'm trying to think what movement to take. Any of them will do. Let's go to heart. So I felt this is what I felt you were both pretty much doing, which was bending and coming in and going out. And I could see the elbows moving, wrists and hands, shoulders. Both of you were doing certainly some of the C curve, if not all of it. It clearly was a good coordinated movement. But what it didn't have in this was the circularity of the movement. The elbows circle, the wrists and hands and fingers circle, the shoulders circle, the scapula circle. And that's how you eventually get to a complete movement, a hemispherical movement. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I can see. I know part of because I'm so focused on staying out
Yeah.
here
No,
that
that's
I lose the sense of circularity.
yeah.
So
But the good thing is you have the kind of the core of the movement.
yeah.
This is in a way a refinement.
Yeah.
A good way to think about it, and it also is how you incorporate twisting into the movement as well as the bending and extending,
Right.
and of course lengthening in and lengthening out. And one thing that can help in that is to remember that very subtle weight shift on the feet, because that really contributes to the circularity of the movement. So that you have the sense that here you're more towards the toes and here you're more towards the heel. And forward and back. And it's such a small movement that physically an observer is not going to probably see that you are actually shifting. But if you're doing it, it will improve the circularity of the movement, because now you've begun to get the dantian and the lower body to circle also. Very small, but it's also that movement is not forward back. That movement is a circle. I mean, I'm exaggerating it now, but that's what you're doing. And that changes what's happening. So, questions about that?
Uh, yeah, I have one. Now, what can you explain the difference between hemispherical movements and spherical movements? Because to my knowledge, we basically usually, if not always, talked about spherical roundness, and today you're saying hemispherical, and I'm wondering what the
They're
difference
the
is.
same.
Okay.
The difference is between circularity and spherical or hemispheric.
What do you mean by that?
A circle is in one plane,
Right. Oh, okay. All right.
a sphere is in a
3D.
ball.
Right. Okay.
A circle
Right.
is the Tai Chi 2 on the wall.
Right. 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 But as far as the normal spherical or hemispherical 3D ball movement, that is just a different term for basically the same thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, that was my question.
No, I just shifted terms on you there,
Okay.
but there are it gets described in a lot of different ways. So
Right. All right. Well, that's good. I don't have to adjust my thinking then. That's the same
no,
term.
no, you don't.
All right, good.
Um, and of course, you incorporated lengthening into that, and eventually, really opening and closing. I don't know. I think maybe Jeff went through looking at opening and closing in detail. I don't can't remember whether you did or not, Bill.
Um, well, we've certainly done it. I mean, I'm familiar with it, so
We've talked about there is a um, where does it come in? It's either with Marriage of Heaven. It must be with Marriage of Heaven and Earth. Um, there's also about a year's training of really deeply going into that, and it does make a difference um, because opening and closing is something like everything else that you really have to feel and and um, when you really get into to doing that um, and being able to, you can feel if one finger or one toe is not opening and closing as much as the others. I mean, that's kind of an extreme example, but um, or whether one elbow is more than the other, and you, of course, are always trying to balance everything. The Taoists love the word balance.
Mhm.
So, any other questions at the moment?
Nope.
Okay. So, Jeff, you said you didn't have any other questions in that first part of the forum on LinkedIn.
No, 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 not. I had asked you about in and out with White Goose last time because I had been unclear about that,
Yeah.
but that was the only one that was raised.
Okie doke. So, we can look at the second half of the forum if you like.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so this used to be so easy to do. but there it is. So you're going to observe this.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to start at the end of both hands, Jeff.
Yeah, I think we finished wave hands and you went into single whip from there, and that was where we stopped.
Okay. So of course single whip is an out, and then we have in, out, and there is a step in there, David. We'll do that again. So in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, turning around, and out, in, 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 out, in. Not my best flow ever, but the that is the parts. So questions?
With the two kicks, David, can you just kind of, you don't necessarily have to do them, but just can you kind of slow those down and, because it seemed like there was a lot of in, a quick out, and then a lot of other in again. Um, over here.
What on earth do you mean? Well, let me do it facing you.
Okay.
So we've gone to high pat,
Right.
and then you have the in to the step, and then out to subdue tiger,
Yep.
and then in as you shift, and then out, of course, for the kick, in, out, and then in, and out, in as you, and I'll do it the other way. So in you turning around to here, and then out with the heel kick,
Right.
and that's right back to an in.
Okay.
So well, ideally you have out, in, out,
Right.
and then on. Yeah.
Okay, and then I think you covered my other question too, which was after we do those two kicks and then we come in, are we, it's a very long in as we turn all the way around to kick again.
Yes. Yes, there is.
I didn't know if there was, before we started that whole turn, if there was an out of some sort. It seemed like a very long drawing,
Yep.
releasing in.
Yep.
So, okay. All right, those are the questions I had there.
Not that there couldn't be.
Yeah, well, you had to say that,
Yeah, I
huh?
did.
Somewhere in my
Because
mind, somewhere in my mind, something like that was lingering, which is why I had that question. Is
yeah,
that
no,
I thought
it
somewhere along the line you said there could be another out and in there.
well there could be. I mean,
So,
it is conceivable that
right.
um, as you step back, you receive that other person's energy and you throw them
Mm,
before you go into the kick. I mean, so
right.
you
Right.
could have another whole sequence in there,
Okay.
but
All
that's
right.
not the way. Basically, it's done. That's just when you think about martial application. Obviously, that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But as we generally do it for our form, it is just a very long releasing in.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, I don't think so.
No,
No, no
it's
surprises.
exactly how I've been doing it.
I'm delighted to hear that. Okay, so Jeff, maybe you would honor us with a flow
Okay. From that point or from the beginning?
from the beginning.
All right.
Not easy to see on here, is it? At least not with my eyes. Uh, how did you feel about that flow, Jeff?
I've had much better.
Oh, okay.
I feel like initially when I kind of restarted midway, before single whip, I started drifting into focusing on trying to work the circularity into there, and I kind of lost what I was should have been doing more. I was just worrying about the lengthening, and I kind of threw myself off, and I don't know if I really got back into a good flow after that.
Yeah.
Is the way I feel. I think I had a few spots where it was okay as far as the lengthening in and out, but for the most part, I below average for myself.
Okay. Did you have any particular thoughts?
Yeah,
Hmm?
I probably shouldn't be the one. You,
Well, that's okay. Um, so one of my thoughts, a couple of places I've just mentioned something.
Yeah,
Um, after you've done pull down and embrace,
yeah,
if when you go onto the left foot, you rotate in and then step out, you have some place to rotate back to get into shoulder.
right.
And you can allow shoulder to expand. I felt like you were focused on hitting with the shoulder.
Okay.
And it's not. Um, the name of that energy is cow, which means bump.
Bump, right. Yeah,
It doesn't mean shoulder.
right,
The English translation often is shoulder because that's one of the prominent ways it's used. But
right,
it doesn't have to be the shoulder.
right.
So, so don't focus on the shoulder.
Okay,
Um, and then that gives you some place to rotate to in white crane
right.
because that all needs to turn in
Okay.
there. Wave hands is coming along. Um, there was one thing. Let's see. When you come out of the left side going to the right,
Yeah,
the first thing is to turn that left foot on the heel,
right.
and then the right foot on the toe and heel,
Yeah.
and notice that I've only shifted to the left. You have a
Uh,
shift to the right and left in each one of
uh,
those.
okay.
And
I'll try and be aware of that.
I think it's the foot movement.
Hmm.
So you turn the right foot in and the left first on toe and then drop the heel to be able to go to the fullness of your extension there.
Right. Okay.
And that allows you, doing that toe heel turn allows you to keep the energy moving in one direction, not go back and forth.
Okay.
Um, and you could actually, I felt that you could let the size of your um,
Beard.
spheres be a little smaller and a little bigger, or
Hmm.
not bigger, just a little smaller in the center. Just give yourself a little more space
Right.
to feel that.
Okay.
Um, I guess those were the only things I really wanted to say right at the moment.
Okay.
That raise any questions for you?
No, no, just some things for me to be aware of
Yeah.
that I'm probably doing inconsistently. So do that.
Oh, the details never end.
Oh no, no, that's okay.
That's one of the beauties.
Exactly. Yep.
Good. So I'm glad your ankle is improving.
Yeah, I feel like I should be able to get into some of the form this week. I hope.
Go
We'll see.
slowly.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I won't do anything that I feel is going to hurt me. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. So, any other last minute thoughts or questions?
Nope.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great week.
Yes.
You too.
Shoot.
Had you already paid me for tomorrow's class?
Yeah, I paid both of them.
I thought you
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry to have to ask,
Oh
but
no, not at all. I mean,
We don't know you yet for this class, right?
no, you just did.
Okay. I thought we did a couple weeks ago, but I wasn't
Yep.
sure.
Yeah, you did.
All right. All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you next week.
You too.
okay.
Bye.
Bye.